long time ago, in an autumn far, far away, Inspired Professor and I ran a My Sweet Socks chatter thread on Ravelry, and this is the giveaway announcement for the winner. Congratulations to Mo's Crochet. Please get in touch with me so that I may send you the prize. Congratulations! Welcome to crafters, crocheters, and knitters. How are you guys doing? And welcome to episode 56 of the Crochet Cakes podcast. My name is Clarissabeth. I am your host for each and every podcast you will find in my channel starting in the year 2018. Before that, I used to podcast with my mom, Caroline, who is at Inspired Professor, and now hosts her own podcast called the Mind and Muse Crafts podcast. As I said, you can find me as Crochet Cakes anywhere on the internet, which includes all the links you will find right now, right here in this space, and I'll also include the links down below as well. So this is a bit unusual because I usually podcast twice a month. Yes, twice a month, bi-weekly. But I had so much to chat with you guys about, and I didn't want to do like a 2-hour episode with just myself because I would get tired of editing that. And it would just not be too fun, would it? Just sitting 2 hours straight listening to just me. It'd be different if I had somebody next to me, but I don't. So I decided to break up the episode into pre-Thanksgiving shenanigans and post-Thanksgiving shenanigans. So talking about those post-Thanksgiving shenanigans, why don't we start right off the bat with something I forgot to share with you guys last week, which I told you I would share, which was my Knitcrate unboxing. If you guys are new to the channel, then it's still a fairly new thing. I am a Knitcrate ambassador, which means I have an affiliated link down below. So if you purchase using my link, I get a small commission at no extra charge to you. But it also means that every month I get to squish some beautiful yarn provided by Knitcrate. Now they sent me the Edison crate. If you go to the Knitcrate website, you will see a lot of different monthly crates that are available for purchase, and I think they are all worth it. But the one I received is called the Edison crate, and it means I get 2 hanks of yarn every month and a pattern. Sometimes it's a knitting pattern, sometimes it's a crochet pattern. So this month I received yarn from Maine Made Dove Roving Yarns, hand painted. Usually all the yarns provided in Knitcrate are made in the US, which I think is brilliant. And this one is called Frolicking Feet. It's a DK weight yarn. The base is Frolicking Feet. The name is Enchanted Dreams. It's 100% superwash merino, and as I said, it's DK. And look at the beauty of this yarn. It's showing up super true to color, which is weird because usually blues don't do that well on my camera, but they're gorgeous, and I honestly don't know what I want to do with them, which is weird because every time I've received yarn from Knitcrate, I've had a vague idea of what I want to do with it, and I just haven't been able to sit down and start it. But this one, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll make a shawl or a hat, or a shawl and a hat. I don't know, possibilities, right? The yarn is beautiful. And also, if you do not want to subscribe to their monthly subscription crate boxes, which I find that they're pretty affordable. They include the shipping, and they always include a little extra gift, at least with the Edison crate they do. And this month's extra gift was a little card with kind of a knit jumper on it, and it says just another card. But as I was saying, you can also purchase the yarn separately, so you don't necessarily need to just subscribe, but you can purchase the yarn separately. So that's an added bonus. I quickly wanted to mention that because I forgot last time and I had promised I would share that with you. And I have to say, even though I broke up the episode into 2, so they would be a little bit shorter, a lot has happened during the past week. So I will just start by saying I've been super busy. I filmed 2 tutorials. I uploaded them and I finished writing a pattern and I finished designing a pattern, which I'm currently wearing. And most importantly of all, we are in the full Christmas season. Although, you know, for me, Christmas starts the day after Thanksgiving. But it's been a little bit sad this year because I haven't actually had any Christmas decorations up in our apartment. This little wreath, which is another finished make, is kind of the only thing I have right now. And it's depressing me. So, you know, just trying to bring in the Christmas cheer. But that is also one of the reasons I stopped doing Vlogmas, because for me, Vlogmas should always include some Christmas themes. You know, it's Vlogmas. It's something you do during Christmas. So it should include some Christmas themes, and I just wasn't getting it because I wasn't doing enough Christmassy things. So I decided to stop Vlogmas for a little bit. And I guess we can include this as a Vlogmas because there is a Christmas thing here. And you will have seen the Christmas tree peeking at the beginning, which we did in New Hampshire. So this is the most Christmassy episode I've done in a while. And having said that, I think it's time we just dive straight into finished objects and what I'm wearing, because I am wearing a finished object and it is something I am so obsessed with right now. I don't even know what to tell you guys. I'm so obsessed with this make. I'm gonna stand up so you guys can see it a little better. This is a chunky cropped sweater that I am absolutely in love with, and I just cannot say enough good things about this, even though I was the one that designed it, so that's tooting my own horn, but I'm so happy with how it came out. There was no planning involved for this garment. I literally just started doing a 2x2 rib, and then I went with alternating single crochet in the front and back loop, and then I did double crochet, and then I went back to alternating, and I did the back completely different from the front, as you saw. But I love it. There's texture in this garment, and it was really very mindless, and I think it turned out beautifully. In terms of construction, the garment is made in a front and back panel, and then it's sewn together, leaving a space for the armholes, and the stitches are picked up for the sleeve, and the sleeve is worked in the round. And then after everything, we just do the neckband, which is a bit of a rolled neckband. It's a row of double crochets, then front post, back post double crochets, and then single crochets in the front loop only, and we get this wide open neckband. So the sleeves almost look like they're drop sleeves because I did some shoulder straps, which are in single crochet, and I picked up the stitches for the sleeves in single crochet. Honestly, guys, this garment is so beautiful. Neither the front or the back panels have any waist shaping whatsoever or any decreases. So for the front panel, you start with 51 double crochets, and then you do front post, back post, rib, until you get to about 2.5 inches or 5 rows. All the information pertaining to this garment is in the blog, which you can find at crochetcakes.com, but I just for a little bit want to talk you through how simple this garment actually is. So as I said, it's made in front, 2 panels, front and back. For the front panel, once you're done with the rib, which requires 51 double crochets, and then you do a front post, back post to get the rib, you will increase to 55, and you'll work the whole front in 55. Even these double crochets, all the entirety of it is worked in 55 stitch count, okay? But for the back, you will just go and work your 51 stitches all the way to the top. So as I said, super simple constructions, almost no increases, just that one row to get you to 55 stitches on the front panel, and then 3 rows of decreases for the sleeve, and the cuff is the alternating single crochet in the front and back loop. So there you go, guys. Nice, simple, and so lovely. Now, what is included in the blog, there are some written instructions for the size that I am wearing, but I show you how you can easily alter for any size, because as I didn't really do a pattern design, this is just the width and armhole depth are just determined by your own measurements, which I think it's fun because you get the basic idea of what the garment is going to look like, but you can just alter it to fit you. So all the instructions, as I said, are provided in the blog, and yeah, just go check it out. There's also some video links to explain steps, for example, how I seam the sides of my garment, how I pick up sleeve stitches, and how I do the neckband, and how to do the alternating single crochet in the front and back loop. All those instructions are provided as videos and written instructions in the blog. I think I'm just currently having trouble showing the seaming of the garment because YouTube is not processing that video, which is greatly annoying, but hopefully it'll be processed today. If not, I'm gonna check back later today, and if it's still not processed, I'm going to delete the video and re-upload it, and I'll link it again in the blog. So yes, fully in love with this cropped sweater, and in case I haven't mentioned it now, this is made with Bernat Maker Home Decor yarn, and that is a bulky weight yarn. It's cotton nylon blend, and it's chain plied, but it's hollow on the inside. It's filled with polyfill, and I actually find it quite comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel super heavy on me, and I just, as I said, I just love it. I just love it. But as I said, busy week, so this is not the only finished object I have to share with you guys. Another finished object is the result of the tutorial that I filmed for you guys on how to make the linen stitch slouchy hat. I filmed a tutorial using Simply Soft yarn. So here is the finished hat. As of right now, I've made 3 versions of this, and I'm debating whether or not to make a 4th version just to give away, but this one I absolutely love the color. The color is just bone, I believe, and I kind of want to buy more of the yarn just so I can make Emma's newest pattern. It's part of her ebook, the Hanging Rocks collection, and she's got a beautiful knit scarf that she made using Stylecraft Special DK. I can make it using this Simply Soft. This is a worsted weight, but I think I can pull it off. She just says you need to increase the needle size to make the stitches nice and drapey, and I think that'd be quite easy enough to do. Plus also using a 4.5mm crochet hook with this yarn would work beautifully because I made the hat using a 4mm, and while it is stiffer than the DK weight version, it's not super annoying, and I love it. And look at my mega super fluffy pom-pom. This tutorial I filmed in Instagram stories, and they are saved in my profile, so if you want to check out how I make pom-poms, you could just go to Instagram, as I said, Crochetcakes, and you can just look at the story. It's saved on my profile. And the other finished object that I have to share with you is something that thrills me to no end. It is a pair of finished socks. So I finished Edison's socks. I have not woven in the ends because I literally finished doing the Kitchener stitch on the toe last night, and our apartment doesn't really have the best lighting, as you can tell from when I podcast, because I struggle to find really good lighting. Given that poor lighting, I just don't like to work with dark yarns late at night. So I'm gonna weave in the ends today, and I'm gonna wash these puppies. Now, obviously they don't fit in my sock blockers, but look at them. They were almost identical. You know, just a few stitches off here and there in terms of the colors, but and I didn't even do contrasting heels or toes or cuffs. So let me tell you, sometimes we just want to cast on or start crochet projects or knitting projects, and that is great. I don't have anything against that. I do it all the time. But when I finish something that's been on my hooks or on my needles for a long time, it feels like I've unburdened my soul and embraced the love of the craft again. It doesn't feel so much as obligation, because even when I just knit or crochet for myself, finishing things feels like obligation sometimes. It feels like obligation crochet or obligation knitting, which is nonsense. I started it because I liked it. And I made Edison socks because he's very knit worthy, and he's been asking me for a pair of socks for the longest time. I think I've mentioned it before, he already has picked out 2 other yarns for his next pairs of socks. I told him, you only get a pair of socks a year. He's like, okay, well then I want these. Okay. Sadly though, he said he still feels the cuff too loose and then the foot too tight. So for the second sock, I made the cuff with 68 stitches, then I increased to 70. And he said it feels a bit tight around the foot area, but I'm sure that'll just stretch a bit when I wash them. But the 72 stitches all the way around is definitely too big for Edison. So at least now I kind of know. He's so cute though. When he tried these on, he's like, oh, I was expecting them to be like up till here. Did you want the socks? Because if not, I could have gone up to there and you would have never seen those socks. But yes, those are all my finished makes, or objects, knitting, crochet, all the lovely finished goodness that I have to share with you guys this week. In terms of work in progress, I didn't really work on anything while I was in New Hampshire. I didn't really work on anything. I took the pair of Hermione's Everyday Socks, which are the other pair of socks that have been on my needles forever. But I did only, 3 or 4 rows on it. I don't really like to knit or read on planes, and I can't sleep on planes, so planes are very boring for me. And at the airport, I did a couple of rows of knitting because our flight was delayed leaving from Boston to Orlando. And then, of course, Mom and I had planned to film a podcast in the car when we got to the Orlando airport because she had a super, super long wait. And I'm talking really long. We got there at 4:30, you know, because our flight was delayed an hour. And she was leaving around midnight. So it was a super long stay for her. So we found a nice place to eat and we're just waiting for our luggage. Pick up our luggage, head to the car. The car didn't start. And at this time, it was around 5:30 in the afternoon. So I'm in a panic, obviously. I know it's my battery. The car's not starting. What am I gonna do? Orlando Airport is about an hour and 15 minutes away from my house. So I called Edison. I was like, listen, this is what's going on. He's like, okay, I guess I'll just head over there to pick you guys up. But if I do that, what do I do with my car, you know? Something has to happen. I can't just leave the car at the airport. You got charged for that, right? Every day. So we text my brother, and my brother is just like, call the airport police. This stuff happens all the time. They'll send somebody to jump your car. So we call the airport police. The airport police closed at 5. So there was no one there to help us. Luckily, this man they sent in to turn on the lights on the extended stay parking arrived, and this lady flagged him down because she couldn't find her car, even though she had a ticket that said her car was supposed to be in that area. And the guy saw me with the hood of my car open and he just walked. "You need to jump, don't you?" So he pulled out jumper cables, jumped my car, and I was on my way home. But sadly, obviously, I couldn't really stop the car and turn it off. I mean, I couldn't turn the car off because, well, then the battery was dead and it wouldn't turn on again. So I had to leave Mom at the airport alone and we couldn't podcast. There was no knitting or crocheting involved at all. So that was the end of a very wonderful week, I do have to say, which was sad. I like to end things on a high note, not a low note. But yeah, so all that to say, I didn't really do much knitting or crocheting while I was in New Hampshire. But yesterday, after having finished those gift socks, I allowed myself some me crochet time. And as I said, I kind of decided I really don't want to go into the new year with a lot of started projects, so I'm trying my best to finish them now. And what I worked on yesterday was the Aster top. I hadn't picked up the Aster top in the longest time, mostly because I really don't like the hook. I think this is Knitpicks Waves or something, and I don't like the way the hook is just the same all the way through. It feels very bulky here, but you know, it's been so long since I crocheted with it that I picked it up now and I'm like, that's not bad. You know, it's got a good grip on the hook area, so I don't know what all the fuss I'd had was about. So I did a couple of rows on that. And nope, this is the finished panel for the Aster top. What I wanted to show you is this. I did a couple of rows and I just dropped the yarn, but that's okay. Did a couple of rows on it. I'm on, I think I'm starting panel 7 and I only did 9 panels instead of the 10 because the Aster top is designed, it's meant to be made with cotton yarn, and cotton yarn doesn't have as much stretch as wool, but wool is going to stretch a lot, and especially if I want to block out these tiny fingering weight stitches, it's going to stretch a lot. So I figured that I should just do 1 panel less, and that way it would still be at a length where I was comfortable wearing it. So right now with that panel less, it gets right to where my belly button is, but the Aster top does have kind of a band that you crochet separately and then attach to the body of the blouse actually. So that's about 2 inches more. So I think that'll be good. This is what I'm working with right now. This is still the first ball of yarn I had caked up. Amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. So I'm still using that, and who knows, it might be enough to finish both the front and back panel, and then I will just use the other ball to make the sleeve panels and the band, and I will add my contrasting green stripe, which is what I'm most excited about. Honestly, I really want to finish crocheting the panels because I'm excited about the contrasting parts I'm going to include. So for those of you who don't know, the Aster top is a book. It's a pattern included in a book by Marie Wallin, and this is by Marie Wallin. It's got beautiful, beautiful crochet and some knit garments as well. But what I love about the knit garments is that they do have an element of crochet in them, and it just makes them beautiful. For example, this is knit, but this part is crocheted. And oh my god, can we talk about this tunic? It's just so, so beautiful. And here we have the Aster top. So this is what I talked about when I said there's a band that is you are going to add, and then the sleeves. So I think I'm going to be pretty safe in making this with 2 hanks of yarn. Just 3, just because I want to include the contrasting band of green. So lovely, beautiful book collection, and I'm very, very excited to get back to work on the Aster top. In terms of work in progress, I know I have a lot of other ones, but I just haven't worked on them right now, so there's no point in sharing those with you. Although yesterday I did crochet 2 squares and added them to the Secret Garden dress, which is kind of my version of a crochet blanket, just because it's taking me a long time to go through with it, but I'm not rushing myself. I know I'm gonna love it either way, and a self-imposed deadline was Christmas, but I'm not gonna die if it's not done by Christmas, because I have other Christmas make plans that I'm drooling over right now. And there's really only one person to blame for all this, and that's Emily from Make E on Instagram. She did an Instagram story of how she crochets a pinafore dress, and she saved those stories to her profile so you can go check them out. And they were a child's pinafore dress. She made them with 2 balls of Bernat velvet yarn. Now I went to my local Michael's store and they only had 2 balls of this and pagoda colorway. This is bulky 100% polyester, 10.5 ounces, 300 grams, 315 yards. Obviously 2 balls is not enough to make myself a skirt. I mean a pinafore dress, but I do hope it's enough to make myself a skirt. And funnily enough, Emily did crochet herself a skirt with this yarn, and she did exactly what I'm planning to do, which is cut a piece of elastic to go around my waist. Oh my goodness, these words! To go around my waist and sew that together with a 5/8 seam allowance, and I'm gonna crochet over the elastic. I'll probably just crochet a band flat and then fold it over the elastic, sew that together, and crochet the skirt from that point on. So that's the plan, and I'm so excited. And I've got other make ideas that I'm super excited about as well, and I've got 3 other designs, garment designs, that I'm super excited about. Honestly, I'm just excited about everything. And speaking of excitement, when we went down to New Hampshire, we were lucky enough to be able to meet with Vivian and Allison again. For those of you who don't know, Vivian and Allison are a mother and daughter who podcast together in the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast. If you haven't checked them out, please do so. They're just so funny, and I really love listening to them. They are an actual podcast. They are audio, but you can find the video on YouTube, and for the videos they include pictures of what they are working on, so it's visual and audio, I guess. And you know how it goes when you meet with friends, you just want to commemorate the moment, especially when you only meet once or twice a year. So Vivian and Allison very kindly gifted us these bags. It's all about the beach, guys. And I just love the contrasting navy fabric. It's got a beautiful pocket on the inside. There's Vivian's label. She does have an Etsy shop if you want to check it out. And inside, there's some felted soap. So this is soap that wool has been felted onto, so you can scrub your body while you're washing. And I know Mom said she wasn't gonna use hers because she loved it so much, but I will. It smells amazing and it feels lovely. I haven't actually used it because, you know, I had to show it to you guys first. And I also got some beautiful locking stitch markers. And I love these tins, but most importantly, I love that this tin has a clear top, because then I know that I have stitch markers there and I don't lose them, because I lose stitch. I don't know if I lose stitch markers, but whenever I want them, I can never find them. And then when I don't want them, I can find them. The other acquisition I wanted to share with you guys was something I bought from Melissa, who is Acorn Willows. She's got the Acorn Willows podcast and the Acorn Willows Etsy store. And she had a sale for her yarn recently to celebrate her birthday, and I got this beautiful, I call it like a watercolor painting because that's to me what it looks like, watercolors. So this is it's called Aurora Borealis. It's 80/20 superwash BFL nylon, 400 yards, fingering weight sock. You guys know I love BFL nylon for socks, so this will be a pair of socks. But look at the little label. It's so perfect and beautiful and artsy. And I also got a mini skein, which is superwash merino nylon, 80/20 high twist. It's an orange cookie. So I'm probably going to do contrasting cuffs with this for my socks. And Melissa, being who she is, being so nice, she sent me a Christmas gift. So she sent me these beautiful minis. And then she says, Merry Christmas. I really wasn't expecting that. I love it. And I can't wait to get started to making socks with all these sock yarns. And even though I feel I should be knitting socks because it makes, at least for me, makes the yarn last longer. You know, you can get a pair of socks if you have a contrasting mini and 50 grams. So that means you can get 2 pairs of socks from 100 grams. Versus crochet where I use 75 grams, so I really only have 25 grams left over of my yarn. So I don't know. But I might crochet socks just because I think they're so fun and fast. Did I mention fast? In terms of the yarny content, that is all I have to share with you guys today. So if that was all you were here for, then thank you so much for checking out the podcast and sticking around. If you like, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, you may do so already. But for those of you who want to hear a little bit about the Etsy shop, stick around, I have some good news. Then please stay on and listen. So first of all, thank you so much for all the orders I have received recently. I know I haven't actually updated the shop since last time, but that is because I want to start the new year afresh. So I want to sell everything that I have in the shop currently so that I can make space for new stuff in the new year. I do have some lovely bags available, and I have one felted pincushion left, and it's the key lime cake pincushion. I still have one left over. And just because we're in the Christmas season and really it's a time of giving, I'm going to be having a sale from the 7th of December to the 12th of December, just to make sure that if you're buying a present, you'll get it in time for Christmas. And it is a 15% off your entire order, no minimum purchase necessary, and all items are eligible for this discount. If you would like some Christmas sock bags, I have 2 Christmas sock bags available. Both of the medium and large size bags are all gone for the Christmas version, but I do have a yarn ball tote bag in there, which is this one, which has a nice pocket, and I have a lot of Alice in Wonderland baggies in there as well. So I've got this one that says Eat Me. It has some beautiful teacup fabric on the inside, and I've got this one, which is all Alice on the outside with some roses, because roses and Alice in Wonderland. I've got a Halloween one as well, which is absolutely lovely. Honestly, I love all my bags. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, oh. And this one, oh my god, this one is such a favorite of mine. I'm not even lying. This, I think it's so beautiful. This is made from upcycled denim. So the top and the bottom. So the bottom part of the bag and the handle are made from upcycled denim. The inside has a pocket as well. And it's blue fabric, and it's got this beautiful lovely purse fabric. This is quilted. And for the Christmas bags, I just have these 2 lonely people left over. So yes, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's favorited an item from my shop, who's liked my shop. So just thank you for everybody who stopped by the shop. Thank you for all sharing all that Christmas spirit and for supporting my shop. Thank you for commenting on my podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Just thank you for being you. And just remember, you are magical, magical, magical. Yes, you are. There is magic in all of us, and I think it shines especially bright during the Christmas season. So let's keep spreading some of that holiday joy, guys. Happy crafting! Bye!